morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning.
If you're watching this when it should be released, it should be October 26th, if I'm correct.
October 26th. It should be the fourth Thursday of October.
Yes, that is correct. So it's really it's coming close to Halloween. I'm going to be honest. As soon as the first leaf fell, I was like...
I was already excited, and it's not so hot outside anymore.
Literally, it's starting to get cold in the mornings and cold in the afternoons. I'm not sweating every time I wake up at 3 in the morning.
Yep.
You know, it gets bad. You know what also gets bad? The crime rates.
Yep, that's true.
It gets deep, but it's 100% true. There's always a crime spike that happens on Halloween. Mm-hmm. There are 17 more crime-related crimes on Halloween. Violent crimes increase by much as 50% on the Halloween, which is 2 times the daily average. A professor from Northeastern University says. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds about right, and it's reminding me of, 2016, the killer clown thingy. Oh, when that was going around on the internet. Yeah, that was
crazy. That was one of the most, I think, honestly, that is one of the most craziest crimes, but that's not the craziest. There's been so many crimes, like killing black cats.
Yeah, when they kill black cats because they're superstitious. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, literally, I always think that's so sad. Like, and black cats are my favorite.
Black cats are the best. I never understand that.
Literally.
Halloween is not the time for crime.
Literally, Halloween is not the time for crime, but so many people take it as an opportunity to just wreak havoc. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, it's Halloween. I can do whatever I want. And one of the most craziest things that people think that they can do is put razors in candy.
Uh-huh. Yep, I've seen that too.
Tampering with candy is
put
something that people
needles.
used to do a lot. Like, it used to be super, super, super common. I'm surprised that I'm happy that it's not common now, but
it happened a good bit.
It still happens, and that's scary. Okay, we're going to get into our case. Our case happens in 1974. Ooh. Ronald O'Bryan, he took his 2 kids trick-or-treating. It's a cool, rainy night. Mm-hmm. You know, it's raining. It's Halloween. The kids aren't going to stay out that long. Mm-hmm. They're going to get soaking wet in their costumes. But we're going to go see a few houses, you know? They're going to go to a few houses, get some candy. Mm-hmm. And so Ronald, he has 2 kids, Timothy and another 5-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. They're from Pasadena, Texas. It's very close to Deer Park. It's a very calm, suburban type neighborhood.
Yep. I know what you mean.
There are a lot of parks.
That's where it always goes wrong then. It's this innocent town and something bad always happens.
You never expect it. That's what...
That's what makes the cases so popular.
Honestly, like the public schools in there are above average. Everything's above average. Mm-hmm. Everything is doing good. You wouldn't ever expect like something like what I'm about to tell y'all to happen here.
Yeah, so what happened? Our case.
What happened? Oh, you better hear.
You finna hear it. You finna hear it.
So Ronald O'Bryan, I'm gonna start calling him O'Bryan from here on out. So O'Bryan, he invites a family friend, Jim Bates. He also has 2 other children. Mm-hmm. So he's like, we're going to take our children to go trick-or-treating. We're going to have fun. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of the trick-or-treating trip, the group visited a home where the occupant failed to answer the door. Mm-hmm. He just wasn't answering the door.
Oh, wow.
Which is actually pretty common.
Right, pretty common. You just go on to the next house. But somebody didn't want to do that today for some reason.
Mr. O'Bryan thought it would be a great idea to stay at that house and wait patiently until someone answered that door.
Oh. It couldn't be me, though. Like, somebody's bothering me at my door. That's why I don't like, sometimes I don't like when trick-or-treating happens. Like, don't knock on my door. Right. And they're just standing there.
If I'm not answering, go away.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
But that's exactly what the kids were getting impatient. Mm-hmm. So they're like, you know what, we're going to move on to the next house. So Jim Bates, he takes them to the next house. And here comes O'Bryan about 5-10 minutes later with 5 giant
pixie
21-inch pixie sticks.
The ones that I wish I could have had.
Yes.
Yeah, like the ones at arcades. Oh, you ever seen them? Yeah, those kind of pixie sticks.
They're like huge. Mm-hmm. He gives 2 of them to his children before handing 2 to Jim Bates.
Wish I was that lucky. Right. Well, I don't know how lucky it is. I don't know how lucky it is, but
if you're watching this on YouTube and not on Spotify, you just saw the face I just made.
Yeah.
You are not lucky, unfortunately, to be someone to receive one of these pixie sticks.
Yeah.
Because if you receive one of these pixie sticks, you probably will end up passing away.
Yep.
I'm going to be completely interesting. Why you just like, yup. But we're going to be real honest. Mm-hmm. So he's going trick-or-treating still. They're still out. It's getting late. They're ready to go home. O'Bryan sees someone that he recognizes from church. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm going to give my last pixie stick to
that kid.
You.
That poor kid.
That poor random kid.
Child. Just a random kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. And then he finally went home with his wife and his 2 children. Mm-hmm. At home, Robert's son asked to eat a single piece of candy before bed. You know, it's getting late. Yeah, we didn't even go trick-or-treating that long. Can I at least get a piece of candy? Can I at least get a piece of candy? So he's like, okay. According to Mr. O'Bryan, Timothy asked for the giant pixie stick. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. So he gives the pixie stick to him. Mm-hmm. Timothy tries to open it. Can't get it open. Right. It's stapled shut. Mm-hmm.
I wonder who did that.
That's suspicious.
That's very. So anyway, O'Brien's like, here, let me help you open it. So he opens it, gives it back to his son. Mm-hmm. And then he tries to pour it in his mouth, and he can't. It's too hard.
Yeah, so you got to crunch it up.
So he gives it back to his father. His father gives it to him. He squishes it just a little bit, makes it all crunchy, gives it back to him. His son finally pours the powder into his mouth, and immediately he starts complaining. He's like, my stomach hurts. Mm-hmm. This tastes bad. This is bitter. And so O'Brien's like, you know what? It's okay. Let me get you some Kool-Aid. Right. And we're going to help soothe this taste. And he was like, okay. So you get him some Kool-Aid. Maybe not even minutes later, he ran to the bathroom, throwing up, convulsing. O'Brien helped his son, holding him. But he said that while he was vomiting, the child went limp in his arms. And then Timothy O'Bryan ended up dying en route to the hospital less than an hour after consuming the candy.
I can't.
Wait, what was in the candy?
Oh, you're
gonna find out. But I can't imagine like how his little sister or his mother felt in that situation. Yes, we didn't get that insight, and it just like I couldn't imagine it. That sounds like
bizarre,
horrible, like a nightmare out of nowhere.
And the fact that they didn't even know what was happening
at all. Right. They
not
didn't know
a single thought was happening. It just he ate the candy, and then all of a sudden he was sick.
Right. So he didn't give the candy to the daughter, just the son?
He did.
He did, but she didn't ask for it.
Got you.
Yeah, okay. So she didn't eat it.
You know, because he wanted that one piece of candy before going to bed.
I never asked for mine. I just took it.
Honestly. Anyways, so parents in Deer Park, they started to hear about this death, and they're like, what is going on?
Yeah, what about my kids? Let's hope,
What about my kids? So they immediately start going through their children's candy. They remember the pixie sticks that were given to them by O'Brien. Mm-hmm. They immediately go get them. They turn them into the police. So now about 4 out of 5 of the pixie sticks that O'Brien said he received from the house were recovered by the police.
Right.
Timothy soon received an autopsy, and it revealed that the jumbo pixie sticks he had consumed before bed had a lethal dose of potassium cyanide. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what that is, it's one of the quickest killing poisons. And it's crazy that you can just get it.
Yeah, you can just buy that. You can go somewhere and just buy poison. You can go somewhere and just buy acid.
Really?
And, yes, and that's one of the reasons why he got caught. But there was still one pixie stick out there. They couldn't find it. So the parents of the 5th child, they're searching their house frantically because they remember receiving it. So they're like, where is it? They finally go upstairs. They see their son holding it, dead in their hands.
Oh, no.
Like right
he
before.
He was asleep.
He ain't eat it yet.
He didn't eat it yet.
Okay. He didn't eat it yet. He didn't die.
Okay. Let's see. Look, play on words.
Yep.
Anyways, he couldn't open it because he did not have the help that Timothy had received upon opening the stapled candy.
The hope. More like the encouragement. The temptation. Because he definitely was trying to get his son. Like, yeah.
He was very eager for his son to eat this candy for some plausible reason. Anyways, so now that all of the 5 pixie sticks were found, they finally go take him into testing. And they realize that the top 2 inches, remember that this is a 21-inch pixie stick. These are thick. These have some width to them. The top 2 inches were refilled with cyanide powder and resealed with a staple. According to the pathologist who tested the pixie sticks, the candy consumed by Timothy contained enough cyanide to kill 2 adults, while the other 4 candies contained enough to kill 3 to 4 adults. And those are kids.
Overkill. Very much.
That is
obviously,
overkill.
yeah. Obviously, like, killing people.
It's already bad.
That's already bad, but it just shows that you had a clear motive and you had no remorse if you just like go over and when you try to kill somebody. Like this is just gonna get you a worse sentence.
Yeah, like that one case where that guy stabbed that young girl because and then kept stabbing her and kept stabbing
like the more you now it shows that you
it was not an accident.
It wasn't self-defense.
This wasn't some coincidence. And that's exactly what the police were starting to think. This isn't just some coincidence. So immediately they become suspicious of O'Bryan, and his neighbor had only taken their children. They became suspicious of O'Bryan because him and his neighbor had only taken their children to homes on 2 streets because it was raining. You know, they didn't go to many houses. So they go to these houses, they interview every single one. None of them gave up pixie sticks. So they're like, weird. So O'Bryan finally goes with the police. He goes to the street and he shows them the house where he received the pixie sticks from. He claimed that this is where he got the candy from. The owner of the home didn't turn the lights on, but he did crack the door open and hand him 5 pixie sticks. He claimed only to see the man's hairy arm.
Very odd descriptor.
So he just,
in a way, and I believe that he brought that descriptor, hairy, maybe to
put in some description so it sounds
say
correct.
Something like. So it's a way that he could have made it seem like he was the culprit, like this mysterious guy just handed me some candy.
Okay.
But there was nobody there. He was trying to frame somebody.
Victimize himself.
Yes, 100%. So the police figured out who the owner of this house was, and his name's Courtney Melvin. He worked as an air traffic controller, and he did not get home from work until 11 p.m.
Which was way past Halloween time. way past trick-or-treating time.
Way past trick-or-treating time. So the police immediately ruled him out as a suspect, and when over 200 people confirmed that he had been at work. 200 people confirmed, hey, he was at work. I know he was at work.
Your framing didn't work.
He has nothing to do with that case. So they knew it wasn't the owner of the house, but they didn't know that it was. I can think of his name.
Ryan?
Yeah. Ryan? Ronald, that's his name. I forget every time. Robert, Ryan, Ronald. We forget his first name every single time, even though we've been researching this case for a while.
About 2 months.
Literally, we've been researching this case for a while, and we still don't know his. That's why I keep calling him O'Brien. Anyways, so O'Brien was released because they couldn't say that it was him, but they couldn't say it wasn't him.
They didn't have enough. He was suspicious, but they didn't have enough.
They didn't have enough evidence to keep him hostage or whatever. So immediately he was released, and then he buried Timothy soon after. The investigation continued because, still suspicious, and only a few days after Timothy was buried, an insurance agency found out that O'Brien had put out a $20,000 insurance policy on Timothy 30 days before Halloween.
Before.
He was playing. Yeah,
so he was plotting it.
Yeah, it was. What is it? Premeditated.
Yes,
it was definitely premeditated.
100% premeditated, and there was a special clause in the policy that would give O'Brien $40,000 if Timothy passed away.
That's insane. Like I can see like a child, which I don't. It's crazy, but I could see like a child. Like people think about when their parents say, "Oh, if I die, I'll give you like you'll inheritance money," right? But nobody thinks about it the other way around. But this dude, he had a motive. Like he knew what he tried to get. Right. He was trying to get that money.
Unable to hold a job. So
sounds about right.
Yep.
He had no money. He's in debt. If you want to think about how much debt he was, like in today's time, it'd be about $590,000.
Oh wow,
that's crazy. That's not even something you can get out of. Maybe I don't think he should have killed his son, but his life was already over if that's the amount of debt you have.
The life insurance policy was only.
It was only 40,000. So it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
nothing would be worth it.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
Maybe
but like in his eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know why he thought that it was worth it.
I don't know, cause like he could have thought that he could have got away with it, but what would that have given you?
It wouldn't have gave him anything.
It would give you $60,000 in your time, which was what $5,000. It would only be $5,500 you'd have to pay instead of $590,000. It would be $540,000. It wasn't
crazy.
worth it, and maybe he did think that maybe his life was over, his debt, but. He didn't have to take his child with him.
He didn't, and see that the plan was like not even just to take Timothy; it was to take Timothy and his daughter. And their mother claimed to know nothing about this. They knew nothing about the insurance policies, nothing about any of the potassium cyanide, nothing.
So like, what was the
mother's reaction? She just thought.
We didn't see. We never figured that out.
We never could figure out.
Oh wow.
But like you said, it would bring him nothing.
Yeah.
The car about to be repossessed. He defaulted on several bank loans. The family owned had been foreclosed on. They had to sell it because they didn't have enough money.
Right.
And then they soon discovered that he had taken out life insurance policies on both of his children. Yeah.
He was definitely.
So the morning after Timothy's death, O'Bryan called his insurance agency to confirm his collection of the policies he took out on his son.
After you committed a murder, and then right after you're just gonna put more evidence on you. I don't get why people do that. Like you're going to be found out unless you're Casey Anthony. Unless you're Casey Anthony, you're gonna be found out. It's not gonna.
Yeah, like I don't understand why people think that they're gonna so simply get away with this.
Yeah.
So. This was extremely suspicious, but it still was not enough to claim that O'Bryan had poisoned multiple candies.
Right.
So they were still digging into this case, and they figured out about his whereabouts before Halloween.
Right.
He had visited a chemical supply store in Houston to buy cyanide. He left without purchasing anything after learning that the smallest amount he could purchase was 5 pounds. To think that you could go and visit a chemical supply store and simply buy 5 pounds of potassium cyanide.
He only put 2 inches in the pixie sticks. So
and
with
that's
every
like
pixie
51
stick,
centimeters.
Right. And with about 2 inches, 5? That's barely a foot. I mean, that's nearly a foot of cyanide. You could just buy 5 pounds of that. That's crazy.
So literally that is crazy. So immediately they're like, Ronald O'Bryan, you laced the candies with poison in effort to kill your children to collect on their life insurance policies. Like, it is obvious.
Yep.
We know. So immediately, they take him into custody, and he's given death row.
Death sentence.
So
what? This case happened in 1974. He died in 85. So 40? he had 74. He died in 85. So it was 11 years after. So he was on death row for 11 years before he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. I would like to know where his children went though.
Right.
Like,
honestly,
or his daughter
child.
and his daughter and his
because unfortunately Timothy passed away.
Right. And then were they married? Yeah, wife. I think it was his wife. So that means she was past all the debt.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I feel bad, and I wonder where their daughter is. I tried to look it up.
I didn't. If they got a divorce before.
I don't know, because they were in a rocky situation. That usually causes for a divorce, a bad relationship. But
yeah, he literally just killed his son for money. So I mean, I think a divorce would be 100% necessary.
But I feel like since he died, and you can't. Can you get a divorce after someone dies? I mean, that's a genius. Like honestly,
no, like before he dies, like the 11 years that he was in prison.
You think that happened?
You think they probably got a
She
divorce?
probably did. Because
Probably
she was in there for a
immediately
while. Yeah, you killed our son. Yeah, but then all of his, where did all of the, because, you know, prenuptial agreements, where did all of the money go? The debt. Like, it would be horrible for her to have to deal with that.
That is a crazy thing to think of.
Right,
She just died in the debt.
Right, and then as she's paying it off, she has to think about the fact that, like, half of this, part of this is because my son's dead.
Yes.
Like, that's horrible.
I wonder if she ever got the money.
I don't know. I was trying to look up like where his daughter may have been, and I didn't get anything, which sucks. You know, they always have those "Where are they now?" videos, but I couldn't find any.
We couldn't find anything.
This is a very sad, very horrible case. Yeah,
I think I found one video of him like in the court. We're gonna put it right here.
Death of young Timothy. It was later shown that the youngster had died. Trying to state across his name. It's what? What, the witness?
No picture.
Other than that, we really could not find anything.
We couldn't, but this is obviously a very sad and it's a gruesome case. It's very disturbing, and it's not very popular, but it's an effect on someone's family.
Yeah, and the fact that candy tampering still happens now is something that y'all need to watch out for. So parents, if you're watching this, go through your children's candy because you never know what could happen.
Yep.
You never know. You can't just automatically assume that everyone out there is good in the world.
Yep.
Because unfortunately there isn't.
Right.
All right. I think that's going to wrap up today's podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
this
for
is
having
Slice
me.
of Life. Yes, please.
Yes, this is Slice of Life, and this is not the last time you will hear from us. We are releasing every last Thursday of the
every
month.
fourth Thursday of a month.
Yes,
every fourth Thursday.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All righty. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye. Thank you to our sponsors, Warehouse Creations. Looking for unique and captivating pottery or home decor? Look no further than Warehouse Creations. This husband and wife team of potters, Bill and Jenny Ware, create a stunning body of work that blends traditional perfection with weird and wonky. Their complementary style creates a visually interesting and captivating collection that engages the viewer and evokes a sense of emotion.
Whether you're looking for a functional piece, a statement piece, or just something to complement your existing decor, Warehouse Creations has you covered. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to see their latest creations and let them fill your pottery or home needs today.
Thank you.